Hello students, here we're going to look at a basic intro to HTML as we're going to see what you need to do for homework 1. We're going to use, in this case, Sublime, but it could be Notepad++. This is one of the ones I've talked about. I'm going to go out and find a directory where I want to store everything. So I'm going to go down to a CIS363 directory. And I'm going to create a subdirectory, which I will give a brilliant name, such as week 1. And I'm going to store my first file there, the index.html file, which is the first document that will open on your website. So you can see I've named it. It will be my home page. I'm going to go ahead and create the other pages for this project. So I'm going to create one for your educational information. And the next one after that, I believe, is skills and also a portfolio. Although I think I do them here in the reverse order. Notice that I'm not adding anything to these files yet. I'm just naming them. The primary reason I want to name them is because Sublime is intelligent enough to highlight the syntax and do a little bit of work for me. Notepad++ is kind of the same way as are some of the other tools. So by putting the .html extension on, it will understand it's a web page. So I'm going back to the index page and I'm going to start adding my HTML. Notice that it is suggesting some things. I'm going to put the closing tag at the bottom. I'm then going to create the head section. And whenever I hit the slash, it automatically completes the closing tag for me. The body section is the other part where our actual content goes. But up in the head section, I'm going to add the title for the page, which will of course be what shows up in the bar at the top of the web page on the browser. And remember that we always need a closing tag. If you don't do it, in this case for title, it wouldn't have cared, it would have still worked. But we want to do it to obey the rules of XHTML. So here you can see I've created a header paragraph which will be super bold and large by default. We can learn how to redo the headers later and make our own, but for now we'll be satisfied with this until we learn more. I'm then going to create a paragraph, and in the paragraph I'm going to put the content that I want to appear on the page. Yours will be a little more than this, but I just wanted to give you an idea. And the next thing I want to do is I'm going to create a subdirectory to put a photo in. So I'm going out to the directory where my files are, and I've created a pictures subfolder. And I'm going to drag and drop from my desktop the picture that I want into that folder. You can see it's a handsome picture of myself. So now I need to add that to my website. For that we use the image tag. I need to give the source, which is the location of it, on disk. Now this is relative to where my other page is, so I want to show it's in a subdirectory called pictures, and then I want to put the name of the file. One of the nice things about a tool like Dreamweaver is all you have to do is link it and it'll do it for you. The alt is what will appear on the mouse cursor when you mouse over it. It's also used for readers, such as blind readers. Now notice that I'm putting the closing tag for the image. Once again, browsers consider it optional, but we really need to put it. And there's actually a shorthand notation when there's not going to be any text between the two tags. You can see we just put the /close. Now I'm going to go ahead and save this and go out to the directory and open it in my browser, but we're going to see there's a mistake. Of course, I did this mistake on purpose so that I could show you what went wrong. Notice my picture isn't there, so something went wrong with the picture, but we see my alt tag instead, which is kind of nice. So I'm going to go back, and what I realized I did is you don't put that beginning slash before the subdirectory. But I also went out and verified that the name of the picture was correct. So I went into the pictures subfolder, and sure enough, it's RAM 2016. So now I'm going to save it again, bring up the browser, and then hit refresh. And there it is. A little too large, however. So I'm going to go back and add a width. Now, the width and height are properties we can add to the image, but as long as I change the width only, it will keep in the proper perspective. So you can see I've made it a lot smaller, and it's going to adjust the height automatically. So we will learn a little later on how to adjust photos so we don't have to size them, which actually makes them load faster. Now notice at the bottom I'm going to put some navigation, and we'll learn more ways to do navigation later, but you can see I'm using the anchor tags and the hypertext references to indicate that I want to look at the other pages. I'm using the bar to separate them, and when we bring up the web page and I hit refresh, you can see there's my navigation bar at the bottom. Now I can click on one such as education, but what we see is, of course, it's still blank. So just to test it, I'm going to copy the navigation links, and I'm going to go to the education HTML page, and I'll start it up and paste in those navigation links. Now eventually we'll learn how to get those navigation links to appear on every page automatically, but for right now I do need to paste it in. Okay, so we can go back and test our website. Here I am on the index page, and you can see when I click on education, I've gone to the page that now has those links. All I have to do is add the other content, and I'm ready to go. So good luck with this. I think you'll be able to make some pretty exciting pages from this point on.